Hi, I'm Graham Glynn, Assistant Provost and Executive Director for Teaching, Learning and Technology at Stony Brook University, and this is Innovations in Education. In our show, we feature faculty and staff using innovative applications and best practices in teaching and applications of educational technology that have a positive effect on student learning. In our show today, I'm joined by Christian Filstrup, Dean and Director of the University Libraries, and Matthew Froelich, Director of Instructional Computing Systems within TLT. Welcome, Chris and Matt.
Good to be here, Graham.
Chris, tell me a little bit about the concept of what a learning commons is.
Well, Graham, I think the concept of a learning commons is a big public space with lots of computers. The computers have lots of software on them. And in these learning commons, students can work together, not just to find information, but to produce things which help them in their studies. So it's production as well as search abilities in this.
Okay. So this is now a partnership of multiple organizations?
Right, so we have the content, which the library is responsible for, and then we have a lot of equipment and software, which your staff is helping us with.
Okay. The library, in addition to having books, is obviously a common place where students study. How has that practice changed in recent years?
Well, in recent years, we've seen a lot of information coming digitally. As a consequence, where we used to be primarily in the public spaces, used to have a lot of print materials. Now we're putting in more and more computers because that's the place where students find more and more of their information. So in a sort of simple sense, I'd say computers are replacing in these public spaces what used to be shelves. They're kind of the new shelf.
So that's in terms of their access to information, but generally they also go there as a quiet place to study. And how has that changed?
Well, students go to library spaces for all kinds of things. They go there and they will do their individual work. They might want to read a magazine and not use a computer. They might want to work on a computer, but then they might want to do group projects together as well. So we're very interested in this group activity aspect of the Learning Commons.
And why do you think that type of study practice from the individual to the group has changed?
I think the university curriculum is changing that. I think students are being better and better prepared to go out into a work world where they have to work with other people and learn how to collaborate, learn how to share their work. And I think it's just terrific. Universities are really responding to that need in the work world.
So you say universities are responding to this. How in particular is the library responding to this new demand?
Well, in this Learning Commons that we put in the second floor of the North Reading Room, there's lots of group study space. And these are not just areas in which students can work together, but they come with lots of equipment which help them do this kind of a much higher level of collaboration.
So Matt, Chris has alluded to this new equipment in the libraries and this new Learning Commons area on the second floor of the North Reading Room. What's in that facility?
Well, we've installed a number of pieces of equipment in the North Reading Room. The area encompasses almost 5,000 square feet. It's fairly large. We've installed multiple computers, interactive whiteboards, cameras, printing stations, wireless networking. The computers are located in large restaurant-style booths, which will allow students to sit together in a semi-private environment and work collaboratively on these computers. These computers are state-of-the-art multi-boot machines, which will allow them to use either Macintosh or Windows operating system. They're all connected to the internet, and basically we're trying to give them as many tools as possible that they can work with.
And in addition to the computers, other group areas?
There's other group areas that are set up in the North Reading Room that have couches set up in another semi-private type of an environment, which allows students to work with whiteboards, electronic interactive whiteboards, that will allow them to actually print things up on the screen, work together as a group, and then actually save that work to either a memory stick or print that work out and take that back with them. The idea is to give them the latest in technology and give them the tools to work with so that they can work collaboratively, which is the whole idea of this area, and learn. And more importantly, they're going to be exposed to equipment and ideas that they're going to face in the working world as they get out out of Stony Brook University.
Well, this is the first time we had a project, and it's really helpful for a project. And because we have a computer, we have a table for all the entire group to sit down and work together.
I think so. It's pretty convenient that we can all sit around the computer, work together. So.
This is easier. You come, you sign up for one, you can like reserve one for later. It's a lot more efficient.
I think that's
It's a lot easier.
yeah. It saves paper, so all of us don't need to print 5 separate copies. We can pull it up and we can look at it and work together.
And the screen is really big.
It's nice.
Everyone can see it.
In a traditional view of the library, we all have this image of signs up saying, "Quiet, please." Is that the case in this facility?
In this area, because of the way it's located and it's kind of tucked off into a corner, we're encouraging them to work collaboratively. So we're encouraging some bit of noise. We want them to talk. We want them to work together. And the way the room is constructed with these high back booths and these high back couches, they'll be allowed to talk, yet they won't be basically interrupting people next to them. We've also installed a number of large round tables that have power located in the middle of the tables. This will allow students to sit together with their laptops, plug in and charge, and then work together in small groups. We've improved the wireless networking in the area so that everybody will have internet access. And we've added a print station.
So what type of things do the students do together in this space?
Students can work on group projects. They can have a document up on a machine. They could take that machine and share that document amongst each other. We've set up a print from anywhere system where they could print from their laptop to the print station located in the area that relatively easily just walk over and pick up the job they've done.
And the whiteboards, what do they do in front of them?
Well, they could stand in front of these whiteboards and mark up these whiteboards, get ideas, put them down on a whiteboard as a group. They could then save that information to a file, take that file back with them to their dorms, their homes, wherever, if they need to look at it later on.
I think students are much more tolerant of the kind of noise of groups than we are. They're very comfortable with that. And I comment on what Matt said. I love the whiteboard because as opposed to the old day that you take your notes on a piece of paper and somehow you're going to try to share this here, the medium itself is highly shareable. It can just be sent around right away.
So students are used to multitasking. My daughter, for example, is at home. She's sitting in front of the TV doing her homework, answering email on her iPod, doing it all at the same time. And so the silence is no longer a critical thing. We want the students to talk and converse actively and even excitedly in this.
And we don't want students to have to do one job here and another one there, but once they're on the computers, we really want them to do all of their work in that one place.
Okay. So Matt, how is this managed in terms of the students just walk in and sit down, take over some of these spaces?
The large group study areas, the large booths, and the areas with the couches around the whiteboards are intended to be for group study. So we're encouraging people to make reservations, and we have an online reservation system, or they can go up to the student consultant working in the area and reserve the space. If they go up there and there's nobody in the area, we want them to use it. But we want to encourage the groups to use it, so we're encouraging them to book the space. The large tables located in the middle of the room is free for anybody to sit down and use. There's a number of large tables and a number of small tables. Plenty of room for people to sit down and do their work.
Thank you, Chris and Matt, for being on our show today.
Thank you, Graham.
Okay. If you have any questions for our guest, please visit the TLT website at tlt.stonybrook.edu, where you can participate in a blog, and we'll also post information about how you can contact either of our guests directly. I'm Graham Glynn. I look forward to seeing you again on another edition of Innovations in Education.